It is what it is. I said what I said. Everybody and their mama already said what they said. And I didn't get the chance to say what I say before I could say what I gotta say, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't say what I gotta say before I get to say it, then nobody gonna hear what I gotta say. You see what I'm saying? Being a semi-consistent Yu-Gi-Oh player, watching the online content go down from the sidelines without providing my own online content, it's just been interesting, you know? You got the people who are deep in the community going, oh man, Ravioli doesn't like the game. We got people going, oh boy, our pricing is terrible. And, oh no, our sets are trash. And then we got everybody else like off to the side, not sweating too hard. You got the OTV gang. They're sitting there. They're just enjoying themselves. They're having a fun time. They're looking for the best opportune moments to get together and monologue.
If there's one thing I know someone like you wants to do, it's have an insane monologue planned out for their final turn where they deliver the killing blow with an insane combo.
Let's address the new player situation first. I think the main problem is just the way this game is played. There's really, mana system is the bet. It's the biggest thing for me. That's literally it. Like, because you can do literally anything in this game, if you have a good hand, the meta will never be something that a new player could just walk into and understand. Like, most of the new players are expecting to build Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, possibly Red Eyes, but nobody ever gives Red Eyes Black Dragons love. I don't understand why the Black Dragon is sitting here with the crumbs while the White Dragon is sitting here with 3,000 attack and mad support, topping events at one point in time. It was like, oh, we got Red Eyes Fusion. They appropriated Red Eyes Fusion, bro. They was using that in every other deck but the Red Eyes deck, dog. The Black Dragon barely got support, and the White Dragon's just sitting there just eating, bro. We finally got support. It's 2023 and we finally get support. All I'm saying is Black Dragons matter. My point is, everybody that's new and returning are trying to build like a nostalgic deck that they can remember and think that will do well. But when they come to a locals, they go on the Master Duel. It's not gonna go well for them, bro. Like, you built a Dark Magician deck that got all fusions in it, and you think you could get you get through it with an Eye to Midas that you can't even search, and then all of a sudden you get smacked up by XZ summons, then Synchro summons, and Pendulum summons you never seen before, and everything is saying that you can't play the game. Let me find out you just got gimmick locked. Nobody is gonna go easy on these players, bro. I had at my locals a kid coming into locals. I would do my best, bro. I promise you, I tried my best to go easy on this dude and still get my pack, because I wanted my packs at the end of the day, bro. Because listen, he was a little child. He was 11 years old max, bro. He was probably younger than that. He was probably not even in the double digits yet. But I just needed them packs. I paid my money. I wanted my time and effort to not be wasted, dog. But like, I also wanted him to have fun. But like, when you lose a lot just due to things that you don't know about, like you just think about Blue Eyes, you're trying to think of like all the cards you could put together, think of all the possibilities. If I can make this very hard to summon monster, I can win. But no, it's not meta, so it's gonna get slapped up. It can't handle the meta, so you definitely gonna get slapped up. And you don't know the meta, so you're not gonna understand what's happening as you're getting slapped up. And when this happened to the kid, I felt bad because he got slapped up by everybody, and he kept coming in too. And I was like, oh man, he's really trying. At one of these days, I'm gonna just let him get a pack. So I let him get a pack one time. I go to my friends in the locals. I was like, it really hurts, man. It really hurts. I try to give it to him this time. You know what I'm saying? My cousin of all people, also going to this local, is like, nah. He's gonna suffer the way I suffered when I started. He's gonna feel pain. He's going to feel what I felt when I started, and I had to go home and punch the air. And I was like, bro, it don't gotta be this way. This is what every new and returning player feels, because we went through it, and it's like, it never feels good, and like, you just don't know what you're doing. Ravioli is right that like, it really shouldn't take you a coach to get into the game, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't really think it does necessarily. Like, for me, it really didn't. I think it depends on the deck that you start with. Nobody, look at me. Nobody should have told this man to play Salamangreats. I don't even know how to play Salamangreats. I've been playing this game since 2019. My college friends got together. It was our last year. It was like, oh, we're going to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! My friend was like, I want the Blue Eyes. It was just Blue Eyes and Cyber Dragon. So I picked Cyber Dragon. I was like, all right, bet. It was easy to learn. Had Cyber Dragon Nova on it. I was like, okay, that's nice. Look different from the GX Cyber Dragons I remember, but whatever. Okay, I opened it up. I ended up building a nice little thing. I found out there were even more Cyber Dragon cards I could throw in here. I built something cool. I built something clean. I was able to learn so much, you know. I was able to learn Xyz monsters because of Cyber Dragon Nova. I was able to learn that some Xyz monsters cheat themselves out with Cyber Dragon Infinity after I searched that up. Learned about the fusion monsters, Cyber Twin Dragon from GX, Cyber End Dragon, the Chimera Tech, all of the dragons. There's a lot of Chimera Tech fusion dragons for some reason. All of those taught me about fusion summoning. I found out you could fusion by banishing monsters from your graveyard. I learned that you could use your graveyard as a resource. You learned so much just based off of like that one little structure deck and some extra cards. I even learned about Cyber Dragon Sega coming in, helping me learn the Link Summon. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty cool. I had to like research it a little bit. I was like, is it really that easy? But yeah, it's really that easy. You just, as long as you got two of them, you just make it. Compared to Salamangreats, where it's all Link Summoning, you don't really know what the goal of your deck is. It's an entirely different thing. Entirely. I think one of the best things Cyber Dragons taught me was about how names work. Because of the way that the Cyber Dragon deck works, it all revolves around the OG Cyber Dragon from the anime, right? However, there are several monsters in the deck that have a different iteration in the name. So Cyber Dragon Core, you got Cyber Dragon Veer, Cyber Dragon Noxter, things of that sort, etc. Once they hit the field, or if they're in the grave, their names become Cyber Dragon instead of Cyber Dragon Core or Cyber Dragon Veer. You might ask why if it already has Cyber Dragon in the name. It's because these spells, these effects usually are requiring specifically Cyber Dragon. Cyber Twin Dragon requires 2 Cyber Dragons. If you have Cyber Dragon Core on the field, you can use your polymerization and use Cyber Dragon Core as a material. If you have Cyber Dragon Core on the field and its effects are negated and its name is no longer Cyber Dragon, instead Cyber Dragon Core, you cannot use that as a material to make Cyber Twin Dragon. It was a very interesting thing to learn because I also learned that Cyber Dragon Core searches you Cyber Dragon spell or traps. So based off of that wording, I was kind of able to glean when it meant specifically Cyber Dragon and when it meant a Cyber Dragon card. You know what I'm saying? It was simple, and I think anybody can really learn it, but like nobody's going to if you don't have, not necessarily help, but like if you don't have friends. You know what I'm saying? I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a social aspect at its core, and if you don't have anybody playing this game with you, you're just hopping on Master Duel at the end of the day to get clowned on by randos, and then you're just getting mad. And it just feels like lower quality of life at that point because you still don't know what's going on because you're just doing this by yourself. At the end of the day, you just need an environment where you can learn around others and others can learn with you as well. Nobody's ever going to know everything about this game. Like even the most veteran players don't know all of the rulings, and that's fine. But if we were to just do this from an online setting, which in most people's cases, that's what people try to jump into because Master Duel is readily available. Everything is online now. Friends don't really come together, at least not my friends. I'll just be here by myself. Nah, I'm playing. I got like a little Yu-Gi-Oh community, but like if I were to have like my friends from college come together, we barely even like get together for Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. We barely get together for anything anymore at this point. It's you just need that community in order to like get you motivated to play in the first place, you know? But if your only spot to get that social environment is locals, and that's your first time ever going, and you see yourself playing somebody, and they start playing pendulums, it's your first time seeing pendulums, and you're getting smacked up by Bible-length card text, it's just not fun. The new player base just can't handle the high play environment. It's just way too much for new players, man. Like, even if I started with Cyber Dragons, I went to locals, I got smacked up in 2019. If I started with Cyber Dragons during the tier form, if I started with Cyber Dragons even in the previous format, where Labyrinth is reigning supreme and purely is making invincible Xyz monsters with one little kitten and several spells underneath it that you don't even want to read because it's like 17 cards underneath that joint. And then you don't even get me started about cash, bro. None of that is fun for somebody who's simply thinking of Blue Eyes versus Dark Magician. I think in one of APS Amplifier's podcasts, Paul hit it right on the nail, dude. There are several different types of players. You got your casual, you got your super sweat, you got your different format fiends, and you got your in-between players, you know, those players that are competitive but don't want to be where like you're not playing the game type. Like, I'm not trying to like me, for instance, I'm a branded player, right? I'm not gonna sit here and gimmick puppet lock you because that's just not fun. That just doesn't sound like fun. Like, I'm just playing solitaire at that point. That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna play it the fun way. I'm gonna play it I'm gonna play with the golden sword soul. Fight me for it. If we had specific formats to play in, I think it's just gonna be like a clear line to just divide everybody up so we aren't all playing the same game with vastly different cards, you know? We're not playing the game where Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, is fighting up against, you know, Jinzo. That's just terrible. It's also just like a super fast game though. Like, there's a couple of solutions, but I think like a mana system is pretty important, you know, dog? Like, I don't know, man. Like, picture this, bro. Picture this. Let's say we have like 20 to 30 stars at the start of our turns, and we can use them in various different ways. Say we get back like what? Like 10 to 15 stars when it's back to our turn again, right? Your normal summons can be free, but for like special summons, every special summon is going to cost stars equal to the level of the monster. You can have omni effects, like omni negate effects, hand traps, also costing a certain amount of stars. Maybe not like the level of the monster, maybe it could be like 2 or 3 stars. Powerful searches and things of that sort, also costing like 2 to 3 stars, depending on how powerful the search it is. I just feel like that would slow down the game enough without making the game too crazy. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, it don't work. It's just stupid. It's just not gonna be. Nobody's gonna like it." All in all, I do appreciate the people who do a lot for the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Everybody that is in this space online, I appreciate each and every one of them. Watching people like Yu-Gi-Oh everything or the offline TV game, play Master Duel, just makes it feel a bit more fun. Watching people like C-Reacts, Team Samurai X1 go against each other, just do their own thing, or even watching people like Crush Cards, head-to-head battles, gotta give them a shout out. Kali Effect, everybody is doing their thing in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. But it's like the new player aspect is just a problem, an issue, and it's not something that the community itself can do anything about necessarily, unless like we go out and do a video like teaching people how to play the game. Or maybe we add a mana system, but like, I mean, obviously that won't be well received. But what'll I do? Am I right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?